Hello and welcome to another Punter's Guide this weekend. What a week we have seen at Chester. You can see our guest, as always, is Jason Weaver. And Jason, you've been on the Rudy this week. We've got a classic trials coming up at Lingfield. Well, that man, Aidan O'Brien, not lying down, is he?
No, we were all about the boys in blue domination. Well, it's been a bit of an Aidan O'Brien show as far as Chester is concerned. It's funny. I look at the little horse State of India who managed to win. Very professional, but looks an out and out galloper. You know, I mean, he's obviously going to throw his hat into the ring as far as the Derby is concerned. But how high he actually sits up at the pecking order, and I keep reiterating that I think that Luxembourg was a little bit unlucky not to win at Newmarket. And obviously the squad, the team, we always talk about the pedigrees. And now if you win or you're a real stayer, that sometimes is not attractive from a pedigree point of view with the speed angle so much now. But those teams are bigger than that. They're looking for things that haven't been done for a long time. And he was their great Triple Crown hope, I think. So that one's gone by the wayside.
And just a quick word on Ryan Moore as well. I mean, yeah, he's under playing at your peril, but he's been in superb form, hasn't he? Back-to-back trebles on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, he's been super around here. You know that Ryan can be a little bit quiet, a little bit awkward, a little bit angry, whatever you want to call it. But the family under huge pressure at the moment. Josh in hospital not far from here, from Chester at the moment, and we're all just praying that things are okay. So I think. Added on top of all the pressure he's on, he's got some personal things going on as well. We wish the family the best.
Yeah, I echo those thoughts as well. Great shout. We'll look ahead to this weekend's action. Then we'll start at Lingfield. More classic trials, and again the big breeding bloodstock operations of Ballydoyle and Godolphin. The team to be feared, especially when it comes to the Derby trial. They've got 3 of the 5 between them, and it's the Newbury win at Walk of Stars, the short price favourite for Godolphin.
Yeah, now we have to take on board, don't we? Lots of chopping and changing as far as jockeys are concerned. You can get the decks off early. Doyle was booked up for Natural World. He's not going to ride that one now. He switched across. He runs over. He'll be over at the other meeting. So Walk of Stars is obviously the first string. Watch that Newbury run back. He was all over the place. I mean, he's a big, giant stride of a horse. I know that you need to test them. That's why this is a trial. That's why he's coming here. And he may go round here like he's on rails, but not for me. I think he's going to struggle coming down round the turn. For me, United Nations was a massive eye catcher when staying on at Epsom last time. Look, he's 50s at the moment for the Derby. Trust me, if he goes and zips around here and wins, he won't be anything like that. He'll be halved in price. So for me, a speculative few quid each way on him for the big one itself, because I think there'll be a little bit of an upset here, even though it shouldn't be an upset, one of Aidan's winning.
Yeah, well, he landed both the Derby trials, didn't he, at Chester, and he won the Cheshire Oaks as well, and the Lingfield Derby trial. He's got a warm order in here in Emily Dickinson, who was a winner a couple of weeks ago, and that man more again on the board. But again, we're doing plenty of unexposed types in opposition.
Yeah, look, it's that stage. It's a trial again. You're throwing your hat in the ring to see how good they are. I hope that John and Thady's belt buckle can be a real good one. Be certainly great for Rab Havlin to get a big winner on the board and break that Group 1 hoodoo that has eluded him so far. So I wish them the best. You look down through them. Emily Dickinson, she made hard work of getting up on the line when she won at Naas last time over 1.25 miles. She's going to stay. It's a question mark again. She certainly looked like there was an awful lot left in the locker, but she's going to be very tight in the market. I think that she'll probably win because it's a guessing game with all of them and how much they improve. If there was one in the lineup that just flies under the radar, Rogue Millennium, who goes for Tom Clover, picked up for 35,000, part of the Shadwell draft, dispersal draft, if you like, won really easily on rock hard ground up at Wetherby, chopping and changing leads, slightly better conditions. I think it's really interesting that they throw their hat into the ring. She's not got an Oaks entry. She is in the Ribblesdale, but obviously things can change rapidly with a big performance here. I just think that I like the way she went about it at Wetherby.
Interesting. And Rogue Millennium for Tom Clover, a chance in the Oaks trial. And they've got the fillies in action as well in one of the big races at Lingfield's flat season, the Group 3 Chartwell Fillies Stakes. I'm a massive fan. I loved the last year of She Do. I think this is a really nice starting point for Roger Varian hitting form of late.
Yeah, he certainly just started to hit his straps. The form obviously has been boosted from last season. She probably ran above her station, if you like. It was a 40-1 shot in a listed contest. She ran really well. Hence, her handicap took a significant hike. She then came out and managed to win in a level weights contest, which was a nice performance indeed. In behind her, Chakoya. Those two look to have a complete stranglehold on this race. Quite surprisingly, actually, we normally have a French runner in this, don't we, coming over, and they're normally the ones to side with. 7 furlongs down the hill at Lingfield, absolutely ideal. That's not the case here. Not a lot of pace in here, which is a touch disappointing, but maybe Chakoya and She Do will have it between them. And I'm with you. She Do just had that nice improving profile, winter on her back. She could work herself into being a real good type this year.
Yeah, she does a couple of favours last year, bigger price, including a place at a big price as well at Royal Ascot. Right, so we'll move over to Ascot then, because we've got 4 races in front of the ITV cameras there as well. Look at a couple of those now. The 220 is listed Buckhound Stakes. We've got a couple here who were rerouted from Chester, taken out in Chester, Al-Arsi and Mandoob. And Al-Arsi looks like he's going to go off a warm order.
He does. I'd love to know what everybody else thinks. I'm just got a question mark over the 1.5 mile trip. People will say, oh, look, he's run second in a Coronation, but I thought that he just looked as if he ran out of petrol. Dettori will be very aware of that, and he rides Stowell. Form around here behind Kamari and the Queen's Vase was very good. Good return to action, despite being a little bit keen behind Max Vega. And I'm sure that he watches the races as much as we do. He'll be thinking, how on earth can I get Al-Arsi beat? Because he should win if we look at the ratings, but that doesn't always play out. He's going to make a stretch for home, isn't he? He's going to kick him in the belly round in the home turn, and it'll be all about whether Al-Arsi has hidden his heart somewhere, or he's got it out on his sleeve. We will find out, but I'd say Dettori's got his number.
Well, then Stoll, he did well, all right, didn't it, Newbury, on his season of return, but he'll certainly come on a bundle for that. And then we've got the big one, the Victoria Cup. This is what we like, isn't it? 28 runners stretched across the straight 7 furlongs at Ascot. And as always, we've got loads of course specialists in here who always turn up and are always ones that punters will latch onto on the straight 7 or the straight mile here at the Royal Racetrack.
Yeah, you've got super horses in here. Accidental Agent, whoever thought he'd be running the Victoria Cup after a couple of seasons ago with all the successes that he had. He goes really well here. Magical Morning, little bit of an early horse. Lots of punters latched onto that one on numerous occasions. Just going through the speed map, it's all towards the middle. Which I find bizarre. You know, in this field, they'll probably split. You can never second guess it. Little bit low numbers, Path of Thunder, Spirit of Light. And then towards the centre, Eagle Way, Baldomero, Hieronymus is the only high one, and Shoot to Kill. So I think they'll sort of converge Arrowhead, if you like, down the middle, maybe get 1 or 2 breakaways. Old favourite of mine. And the reason that James Doyle is not over at the other meeting is One Ruler, who's been running particularly well of late. I thought it was a fantastic run over in Maidan last time. It's been obviously a brilliant start for the Appleby team. He's better than a handicapper. He is better than a handicapper. He should be out of this company, although he's very, very difficult to get right. But I think that class will tell here. And he is the reason that James Doyle is not riding in one of the trials or 2 of the trials over at Lingfield.
I like it. Confidence. Only the 1 dart for the Victoria Cup, One Ruler straight in.
I think it's got to be 1 dart, hasn't it? You know, look, as I said, I think there'll be centre is the pace. That also factored into it. He can gauge a little bit of room from where he is in stall number 19.
Yeah, be the big betting race, which One Ruler for Jason under James Doyle and Charlie Appleby. So there's 5 of the 8 ITV races looked at. Any idea of a strongest bet, a best bet on the card, how what we've looked at or elsewhere?
Yeah, but just from a value perspective, I think that United Nations, you just look back at the Epsom run, he was never going until right on top of the line. He will benefit massively from that. Obviously, the Godolphin run will be backed off the boards. He could go off tighter than evens. He may be a shade of odds on. I just was wary of the way he hung left on a flat galloping track like Newbury, and he's got the steepest downhill. It's worse than Epsom. Steeper than Epsom down around Lingfield. I think he's going to struggle.
Well then, United Nations continuing the hot run of Aidan O'Brien in this week's Classic Trials. Thanks to Jason, as always, for joining us. He'll be on ITV on a Saturday. We've also got a bit of jumping from Haydock as well. And he'll join us next week for the final few Classic Trials for the Dante meeting at York. Whenever you're back in this weekend, though, the best of luck.